Welcome to another episode of Technical Earth Syndicate, the line block you've been waiting for in the Tetris game of your life. I'm Chris Stewart.
And I'm Michael Buffington.
And this is episode 29.
We also have some guests. Woo! Ryan, announce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Ryan Schaefer. It's good to be here, guys.
And you've done a podcast. Right?
I've done a podcast.
Any relation to Tim Schaefer there, Ryan?
Not that I know of.
Oh.
And then we got Mike. Mike?
Oh, hi. Just kidding. How was that?
Mike Ross. He's a pretty cool guy. This is his first time being on our podcast. Today we're here to talk about E3. Chris, we got a lot of information to go over, correct?
That we do.
Yeah. It's been a pretty fun week with E3. I wish we could have all been there. I especially wanted to go, but that wasn't the case.
I wanted to see the girls.
The girls?
Yeah.
Or the bros.
Nah.
Who's bros? Like that.
The bro babes. Ryan, you've been to E3 before, haven't you?
I have.
Okay.
Maybe next year we can all go.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That'd be fantastic.
Well, today we're going to just start out with all the conferences, Xbox, EA, Ubi, Sony, and also Nintendo, and kind of go down what we saw and what we thought. Now we'll go into our E3 2013 topic attack.
All right, so Xbox started off kind of strong, I think. Just at least a little bit. They kind of went away from the bullcrap of, oh, you get to watch TV with our console now. And they started showing some actual games.
They just wanted to focus on games in the conference, which was cool. I respected that.
Yeah, they started pretty strong with some Metal Gear Solid 5 gameplay. There was some stealth action on a horse. Dangling off the side of a horse to hide from dudes and driving in cars and stuff.
There was just like, they showed the actual gameplay and it was very pretty, but it seemed a little forced. When who's the main guy that made Metal Gear Solid? I should know this.
Kojima.
Yeah, Kojima. When he got on stage, he was like, "Yes, my game is on Xbox One. See ya." It was pretty cool. I like the gameplay, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing what the PS4 does with it differently than the Xbox. It's probably the same graphics and everything like that, but we'll see.
Yeah, there was confirmation though. If you could hear it, it was Kiefer Sutherland is indeed replacing David Hayter as Snake's voice.
That's right.
Yeah, it was a little different for me. I didn't really like it. I'm used to David Hayter doing it, so
I'm actually okay with it because in the end of 4, when Big Boss shows up, he's got a different voice than Solid Snake, and so he's a bit older in Metal Gear 5, and so I think it makes sense for him to have a little bit of a different voice. And I actually like Kiefer Sutherland as an actor, so
he's supposed to be younger. He's like 40, I think. He's like mid 40s or something like that.
Well, yeah, but he's older than he was in like Snake Eater and such, so he's not going to sound like the original Snake anymore.
After that, they kind of kicked it off with like what they're doing with 360. Here's a funny thing: Xbox Gold now gives you 2 free games a month, I guess.
Yeah, they're trying to follow in Sony's footsteps with PlayStation Plus, and
which is not
the first couple of games that they're going to give you for free is Assassin's Creed 2 and Halo 3. So they're going to save you about $5 total.
I think the first one I saw on Xbox, if you guys loaded it up, that is a horse. We're on a document, guys, that are listening, and someone just posted a horse. Anyway, I think Fable was one of the first games I saw on Xbox. I logged on the other day because someone said Fable 3 was free or something, so that's one of them.
And probably the next round of games is going to be Viva Pinata 1 and probably that Bomberman Act 0. I bet that's going to be the next one.
Possibly. Yeah. What do you guys think about the World of Tanks game they showed for Xbox?
It looked interesting. It's been out for I think a couple of years now already on PC, so they're bringing it over to the consoles. and it looked, mildly interesting. It's kind of Call of Duty with tanks.
Ryan, do you still play your Xbox?
Yeah, I have a friend that's actually working on that game, so I'm gonna say it's awesome.
Friend shout out. There you go. It is awesome.
Yep.
The PC version's pretty fun too, if you haven't played it. But yeah, they had a few different games. They actually did show off Dark Souls 2 and some was it Max and the Curse of the Brotherhood? It's like some kind of kid game, I guess.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of what's it called? The storyline for Labyrinth. Remember that movie? David Bowie.
Yes.
Dude wishes his brother away, and then he gets kidnapped by creatures or whatever, and he's got to go save him.
Xbox One started off them actually showing some Xbox One games after all the talk with the Xbox 360 games and everything like that.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it called? Rise Son of Rome. It was like they showed a gameplay footage of that. It's built off the Cry engine. I'm guessing Cry Engine 3.
Yeah.
It looked okay. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I thought it looked awesome. It was the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. They're it's like one of those games that's gonna be for like the new Xbox, and they're like, oh, for the 360. Wait.
Oh, that one's actually for the Xbox
Okay,
One.
that makes sense. Okay. So that's why. Okay, so they were like, so it's for the new Xbox, and I was like, yeah, I can see that because it looks really good.
The graphics look good, but they do look a little dated, but not by much. I think it's just going to be like, remember the transition when 360 first popped up, how games kind of looked relatively the same because their dev cycle was pretty short.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, like the CryEngine 3, Crytek has been saying, oh well, this system's going to be out for years before someone tries to catch up to it. As far as like what they could push, graphics wise. So, they're the one to watch for, I guess, for the next 2 years, or so.
Their engine's awesome. I mean, you played Crysis 3, didn't you?
Yeah, I love that game. It looked great.
Yeah, graphics were decently good on that. After that, they kind of announced a classic game from our childhood, Killer Instinct. Recall that? Yeah.
I was very excited about that.
I'm trying to contain my excitement right now.
Until I heard about something extra they were doing instead of just releasing it as a game.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible. And by the way, the game, to me, it kind of just looks like Street Fighter 4. Did you get that vibe to me, at any of you?
It kind of looks like
yeah.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of Soul Calibur, like the graphics wise, the newest Soul Calibur.
I was getting a real heavy Street Fighter 4 vibe from it. But anyway, it's completely horrible. They need to just release it as a full price game. What they're doing is they're making it free to play, but you can only get Jago, or however the hell you pronounce his name. He's the only character you get for free, and you have to buy all the other characters.
Now, how much
is each character?
They haven't announced the price or anything yet for any of the characters.
$5 a character sound about right? No.
Possibly, maybe
pretty much
$10. Who knows? It is Microsoft that we're.
Well, they
dealing
better
with.
at least do a pack. Like you can buy a pack of 4 for $5 or something. That would be reasonable.
What they should do is do what
really
League of Legends is doing, and they kind of rotate the characters so that you can at least try them out instead of, oh, I might like playing as this guy, so let me spend $10 on him. Oh, he's not such a great character after all. Oh well. It's taking you're taking a pretty big gamble here, and so I don't really care for that system.
I think it'll really come down to how much they charge per character, because if it turns out that, you can buy all the characters and it's less than it would have been anyway, then I'm okay with that.
I just want to buy the game. I mean, if I ever get a Xbox One, I just want to buy the game. That's what I want. Like, even if they charge $60 for all the characters, I would be like, okay, I bought the game.
Yeah, right, like a full price normal game, and it'd be completely fine.
But now, let's hope it's not like $5 a character, because that would mean, all the characters combined, you're going to spend $150 on everything.
I read something about that. The reasoning behind that is it makes sense if you think about it. Like with a lot of fighting games, you kind of stick to 1 or 2 characters that you're really good with, and the rest of them you don't even touch.
Right.
And so you want to buy only the characters that you want to play as. But how are you going to be able to figure out which characters you like if you can't play them?
Yeah.
So
But another reason I don't really like that is, I mean, if that's the model, you get to pick what you want. I still like the fighting games that make you play characters to unlock certain stuff. You know, I like that. And taking that away kind of defeats the purpose, I guess.
Yeah.
It applies to anybody that wants to play online, but normally fighting games I play friends only, not online because I get my ass stomped. So,
In a lot of fighting games like Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur, there's like a campaign mode where you play through the story and it puts you in the different characters that you have to play as. Yeah, so I don't know if they'll be able to do that with this or not.
Poor Rare. I'm so sorry they got taken over.
Me too.
It's all good. It looks fun though. I do want to try it out. We'll see what happens when it gets released. After Killer Instinct, they revealed a game. It was like some kind of shooter. It was a CG trailer, obviously, but it was called Sunset Overdrive. It had like something about killing mutants or zombies or something. It was very cartoony like.
Yeah.
You guys remember that trailer?
Yeah.
It was kind of just like a random CG trailer they added, and they didn't really say anything more about it. I'm just like, okay.
Well, I think it was from Insomniac, the people who did the Resistance series.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was kind of a big deal because it's, I think, the first thing they've done that's not, Sony exclusive.
Is that first party or is it third party?
It's third party.
Yeah. That's
okay. It's third party. Cool. They talked about Forza 5, of course. I don't know if you guys are into Forza 5 or Forza games.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've played them since 1, and they're pretty nice. I
I'm
remember
not
kind of title on myself because I hope my mom and dad aren't listening to this, but they probably are. So anyway, mom and dad, I used to race when I was like 18, 19, and
Ooh,
yeah. So
this podcast to them.
Yeah, confession time, right? But anyway, like I remember just like from playing Forza, it was crazy because just the way that they kind of drew out, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. Follow this line, so you can pass this dude. Slow down here. Okay, you're going too fast. Slow way down. Speed up. Speed up. Just all that kind of stuff. It was like really nice because since it was so realistic, and then it taught you how to pretty much race in real life. And then I went out with my buddies and it ended up doing really well. So it was.
You're not making the argument of video games teaches you things good. No.
Yeah, But with Forza 5, like one of my favorite things that they're going to do with this is, at least from the demo that they showed, it seemed like they showed like text-based, commands of like what you should be doing, like attack this guy. Pressure him, block this other dude over here. Okay, catch the drift. Draft. Okay, overtake. Okay, it's cut off. But it's cool because it's like all the things that you think of. It's like it's just like right there, kind of explaining it. As if like you had this like high class, like race car driver, just like sitting next to you, telling you, okay, hey, do this. This way you can pass this dude. And then afterwards you can go buy pizza because you're awesome. But yeah, that's my take on Forza. I think it's gonna be pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. The graphics look.
It was also a very pretty game. It was very pretty. And racing games only get better looking as they keep on getting remade, but it's not a bad thing.
They had that
because it makes it look more realistic.
Yeah.
So.
Then they even during E3 they even brought out I think it was a McLaren, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a McLaren P1, I think, which is awesome.
And I pretty much wigged out. I was like, that's a McLaren.
That's the one that like came out on the stage, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like a big shiny car that I will never ever be able to afford.
I'm glad you guys are here because Chris and I aren't really cars people. So
yeah, pretty much the only racing game I like is Mario Kart.
Yeah, like cars that are like way out of my price range and that's bad.
Next up, they had a Minecraft revealed on the Xbox One edition. I'm a little worried because I bought that on Xbox 360. So, are they going to make everyone buy it again?
Probably.
And they didn't reveal much about it. It looked like Minecraft, no graphic increase. I'm sure it's more like possibly the PC version, maybe because. The Xbox 360 was a little limited with Minecraft, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure lots of people are going to want to buy a $500 console with, badass graphics and want to play a game that looks like it was made in like 93 on the PC.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right?
Now, who is a Remedy fan? Who's a fan of Sam Lake's work?
I'm a bit of a
Max
late
Max
bloomer onto
Payne
that
1,
one.
Max Payne 2.
Okay, I guess I am.
Alan Wake.
Yeah.
You know, those are the core 3 games that he really did well at.
Yeah, I'm still working on the Max Payne games myself, but I just recently beat Alan Wake, and it was a pretty good time.
Quantum Break is a new concept, I guess, and Defiance is kind of doing that right now, using a game and a TV show. Now, Quantum Break is a TV show that's exclusive for Xbox One, apparently. They didn't really elaborate too much, but it's also a game that ties in with it as well. And Sam Lake is creating it, and his team at Remedy, and it looks really good. And I hate to say it, it's the only game I really, really want on the Xbox One, and I would buy an Xbox One in a couple of years just to play it. You know.
I don't know about anybody else, but I was like really surprised. I think you probably already knew what he sounded like, but I expected him to sound like Max Payne coming out on the stage, and then he said this really thick British accent. I'm like, what is going on?
He doesn't. He's not British. He's
like
he's Norwegian.
Norwegian,
He's Norwegian.
Some crazy accent that was not American, and it was crazy.
Sam Lake is crazy. He's awesome. Back when I used to play 11 with you, Ryan, like 12 odd years ago, when Max Payne 1 first came out, Sam Lake actually wrote my dad and me a Christmas card because he contacted him for an interview and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
It was pretty awesome. So like Sam Lake and anything Remedy does, I'm a fanboy towards that company, and I really hope either that game comes out later on to PC or something. If not, I will be picking up an Xbox One just for that game later on.
As we're going through this, it's selling me more actually. On the Xbox.
Just wait. Yeah. We'll change your mind in a little bit here.
I think we all kind of know what's happening with the company. I do want an Xbox One, but I don't want to pay $500 for what the system does right now.
Right.
You know,
definitely.
And we'll get to that on the Sony one. We can kind of go through a little bit fast on the EA and Ubi, but I want to highlight Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo. So. There was a game called I don't even remember writing this down. D4 what was D4?
I played.
I'm not sure.
Oh, it was like some cell shaded crazy game. I don't know if it was on. I think it was on PlayStation 3 though. Tell you the truth.
D2 was on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I remember.
I played that.
I remember.
Oh yeah, that was it.
This is like some kind of crazy horror series. It
right.
was 1 and 2. I don't remember 3 ever coming out.
Real like
I wonder if this is a continuation of that.
It's really like Japanese looking too.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I have no information on that because I guess I didn't really write it down. Project Spark, that looked pretty cool. It was using the Kinect. It was like building landscapes with his hands and stuff like that, and he was building his own RPG world. It was really cool. It kind of looked Fable-ish, in my opinion. It looked a little bit Fable. You guys saw that?
Yeah.
It's also going to be on Windows 8, so it's not just Xbox One exclusive. So I'll actually have a chance to play it.
Yeah, that's good news because it actually looked interesting. I wanted to kind of play around with it.
And Kinect is good. The new Kinect is actually going to be. You're going to be able to put it on your PC as well. Apparently, I heard from a rumor.
You can watch me anywhere I go.
Yeah.
Well, you can do that right now with the first one with like hacks and whatever.
Well, I think this one more incorporates everything into Windows 8 than the original Kinect. That was, just an extra dev kit. Which Ryan, you do a lot of that stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I messed around with it in the past. It was a pretty good time.
Maybe the new one might do a little bit better features with Windows 8. We'll see. But it looked really cool. It was like you created your own world. It was like a sandbox game, but then you created your own RPG around it, and you got to place like a village and all this other crazy stuff. I was sold on that, but I'll probably pick it up for Windows 8.
Yeah.
Just because I'm not going to be getting an Xbox One anytime soon.
They can do with the with Windows 8, what they're doing with the Xbox One with the what's called the Kinect. It's where like you can like do the whole in-air like pinch to zoom and just like just shuffle stuff around with your hands and stuff. That would be, I think that'd be pretty cool. Because I can see just with like the Galaxy S4 when it came out, the whole gesture base. A lot of people before it came out thought it's gonna be real gimmicky. And I bought an S4 just to test that thing out, and it's pretty nice. Like, I mean, it's not like one of those things that's like, oh, this is going to replace, cell phones.
What's that?
It's just convenient.
What's that? That motion sensor that goes in front of your computer that we did a few podcasts ago, Chris. What was it called?
Shoot, what was it called?
Man,
I cannot remember it.
It was like this little motion thing, and it gave you little gestures and everything. I haven't.
Was it Leap?
I know exactly what you're talking
Leap
about.
Motion. There we go. Thank you.
That was
Leap Motion. I think Xbox will probably do something like that, kind of with the camera on your computer, maybe for Windows 8. We'll see. Yeah, pretty much. After that, they kind of talked about Smart Glass and all their little features that they're going to be doing with Xbox. Twitch streaming. They have a partnership with Twitch now, which is very popular with everything right now.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that Sony didn't go with that with the PS4. What did they go with? Ustream or something?
Ustream.
Right. Yeah.
And then they also came out and said they're going to be using real money and not Microsoft points.
Thank God.
Really. And then also Xbox Live Gold sharing, like 1 gold account per family. That's all you need, which that's nice.
Yeah,
nice,
I kind of.
You can share your account with like up to 5 people in your or something like that. It doesn't have to be like your immediate family. It can be whoever you name in your little group.
I think so. I'm not too sure.
Yeah. It'd be good for those days when you're playing Halo, because they're going to make a Halo for this thing. But back in the day, like if you wanted to play like Halo 3, and you're like, okay, let's go jump on live, and then your brother or your sister has like the second controller, and they don't have an account, but you do, so it's like they're just the guests, and you can't do the whole everything from Xbox Live.
I just don't know how it's gonna really work, because everyone's gonna need gold for Xbox.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mostly for your family, like your family at home. That's what they were trying to say. I'm sure sharing with a friend is nice, but I'm guessing that he's going to have or she's going to have a gold account no matter what, because the Xbox One is solely set on online features mostly. So
I think it's basically just what it sounds like to me is just an expanded version of what they already do right now with the whole guest deal.
Plans?
Like, how many guests can you have when you go online? Isn't it like 1 or 2, something like that?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think they like upped the number to like 5. Something like that, and so you can have more people on with you at the same time, is what it sounded like to me.
Right.
Pretty cool.
And then during the conference, Xbox had a lot of problems.
Yeah, they did.
With, Crimson Dragon. That's coming up. Crimson Dragon. Was it a Dream? No, that was a Sega Saturn game.
Yeah, this is the spiritual successor, I guess, to the Panzer Dragoon series.
Oh, the one with no sound. I remember that.
Yeah.
Everyone cheered, though. It looked cool.
Yeah. I really wish it had sound, because it did look cool.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed that with Battlefield, they ran into the sound issues, but they went back and did it again. But they didn't do that same thing with this game, which, frankly, I would have rather seen.
It was awkward.
Yeah.
Maybe if you go on Microsoft's site, maybe they might have something on it, but it was just awkward. They were like, well, that's the end of the trailer. Anyway,
yeah.
Dead Rising 3.
Exactly, yeah.
Dead Rising 3, I think, is going to be exclusive. Maybe not. No one really elaborated on it. So it looked awesome.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, it really did. I don't know. I'm a little bit not really. I don't know what the word would be. I think people don't care about Dead Rising characters that aren't Frank West. So this new guy, I don't know how many people are gonna really warm up to him.
It was more of like a realistic Dead Rising, though. They took out all the goofy stuff from what I saw.
I'm sure there's still going to be goofy stuff.
There's goofy
stuff.
It
couldn't be a Dead Rising game.
Right. But, I mean, it just seemed more serious toned, and, like, it looked scary because there were thousands of zombies in that city on that scene, and that's impressive. I really hope these systems can really do this, show that amount of detail.
Yeah, I remember when they were showing the screenshots for the first Dead Rising, there were about as many as there were in this trailer, and there weren't nearly as many in the actual game. Right. So hopefully they'll be able to actually do it this time.
So that's cool. Now it might be exclusive, it may not. Well, actually, I'll have to check on that. Maybe I'll post it on the Facebook.
I'm thinking it'll be a timed exclusive, and it'll come out on PS4 and whatever later on.
Which is fine by me.
Yep.
I thought it was awesome. Like when they were using the whole like the smart glass thing, like when he was just like, okay, I'm gonna use this airstrike here, or like it was some kind of like mortar strike or something. But
yeah, it's also a co-op game or online multiplayer game, something like that, like an MMO type. I think I heard someone say something. It was like an MMO type game because someone used a tablet to call an airstrike down.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Was
You
that
know,
in
a
this
game
one?
that
Yeah, dude.
kind of
I thought he
reminded
was
me
doing that
of
himself.
what you call that?
No.
I'm trying to think of Super Mario with like the little like the Wii U pad thing, where you can like like, oh, I can't get across this ridge. Oh well, here, let me doink, here's a little block for you, thanks man. And then he like hits it again, and it like vanishes, and you're like, you just killed me.
The cool thing is about smart glass is it works on almost every mobile device. I mean, including Android and iOS. So, and I think did they put it on Windows phones too?
Probably.
I'm sure they did.
Oh, wait,
I'd be
yeah,
amazed
wait,
if
wait.
They didn't do Windows
Yeah.
phones.
That would be pretty
Wouldn't
weird.
make any sense.
With like everybody
I'm-
but ourselves.
I just haven't heard a smart glass app on Windows devices. But then again, I remember seeing it on Windows 8 smart glass app. So I'm dumb. It's okay. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was also announced after Dead Rising, and it looks pretty close to what PC has done.
Yeah.
It looked pretty. I didn't really watch the full trailer because if I'm going to get it, it's probably going to be on PC. So it looks fun. If you guys have you guys played the Witcher games?
Yeah.
I played the first one, and yeah, I really liked it.
So you haven't played the second one yet?
I have not.
Oh,
Yeah, I need to finish the
Is that
first
better?
one. I just bought the second one the other
It's-
day.
Witcher
better.
2. Witcher 2 is good, man.
The story is, I think, I don't know, like the story was a lot better in the second one than the first one. The first one,
Yeah,
it was kind of
the-
like, what just happened? And then
It was drawn out until the very end, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay, so yeah, that was impressive. After The Witcher 3 information, you guys can look that up on the trailer online or whatever. It looks really good. If you've never been a fan of the Witcher series, you may look into it because it's a great RPG. A lot better than some trash called Dragon Age 2. Battlefield 4 single player was showed off at the end of the conference.
Oh man.
It looked pretty good, but they had some really bad issues.
yeah, they
This
did.
was the most awkward part of the conference. It was awful. It was painful to watch.
It
The
really
guy
was.
like halfway walk off the stage, and he was like, "Oh, we're not doing it."
He's like, "We're continuing."
Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
are.
think he actually said at one point, "Oh, hey, I guess we're just gonna do this later." And then he started
Yeah.
walking off the stage. Oh, we're gonna keep going. Oh, okay.
EA's like, you're fired.
Yeah.
It's like, what was it? 2-3 minutes of just waiting for nothing to happen.
I felt really
They were
bad
show-
for the guy.
Yeah, one of
Yeah.
the best things in that preview that they showed though was when they're doing the whole commander mode. Because I don't know if you guys have played the old Battlefield games, but
Well, this one they were just showing the single player.
okay,
So
that's right.
we'll get to the commander mode in a little bit. Sorry to cut you off.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait.
But they said it was running at 60 frames per second, which is awesome for consoles because no consoles run games, and like Battlefield 3 on Xbox ran at 30 frames per second. Actually, 24 frames per second, around there, 24 to 30, I believe.
I think the Modern Warfare games run at 60.
60,
They're
yeah,
really
but Battlefield 3 I had it on Xbox for a little bit. It was a little chunky compared to normal games, but it was still fun. But 60 frames per second, that's what we're used to on PC. That's fine. That's the standard right now.
Yeah. I also like how they're bragging. Oh, you can have 64 players in a game. Yeah, and PC's been doing that for how many years now?
Forever.
But
yeah,
Xbox and PlayStation couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice to have that with these systems. Now,
Yeah.
watch them one up everybody on the PC and say, "Oh, we have 128."
I don't know. It's kind of nice that they're bridging like the gap a little bit between like the PC and the game console, because it's like the stuff that we've been enjoying for the last like 2 or so years. It's like now we can like sort of be like, oh yeah, you're gonna love this because we used to do this, and we went into this big battle. We had like all of our buddies, and everyone just like got sat on by a tank, and it was really funny. But just like all that kind of fun and stuff. They're gonna love it. It's gonna be pretty cool.
After the Battlefield mess up, and they actually showed the single player game, which I don't have any interest in. I want the multiplayer. They showed a new Halo game. Ryan, did you get a stiffy?
Of course,
I know you're a big Halo fan, so
I am.
I'm wondering why they
I love
didn't just-
space. I love that universe. I love the characters.
right.
Yeah,
At,
I'll play.
at first, you didn't know what the game was. It looked completely not Halo, and all of a sudden, Master Chief flipped down his, hood, and you're like, oh!
I had a feeling. I
was getting pretty excited because it looked really cool, and then I saw the little green on his hand, and I was like, oh, damn it, this is another Halo. I'm wondering why they didn't just come out and call it Halo 5, though, because I thought that 4 was supposed to be the start of like
maybe it's something like
trilogy.
Halo Reach, like in a sense, because they had Halo 4, and then they had or Halo 3, Halo ODST, and then Reach.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing something like that, but no name on it, and it's probably still in development and won't be out for another year or two.
Yeah.
But they priced the Xbox at the steep cost of $499.
Ew.
They did not learn from Sony's mistake, I guess.
$599 US.
Close enough.
It's close, man. I was sold on the system from this conference until I saw that price point. I was like, yee.
Really, you were sold on it, even knowing all the stuff that it does?
Yes. It was because of certain games on it that I was wanting, like the Sam Lake game and everything like that. I was sold on it, but I was not completely sold on it because I was still sold on, PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
But I was willing to buy one. Now I'm willing to buy one when it's, cheap.
If they had priced it at 400, there would have been no question for me. But 500 that's a lot.
It is a lot, and that's getting. I mean, I didn't buy a PS3 when it first came out because it was $600 freaking dollars.
Really, the only reason that they're beefing up the price that way is because they're forcing the Kinect on there. That's the only reason it costs that much money.
Yeah. After they revealed that, though, EA announced a really cool game called Titanfall. That looks interesting, but anybody with a PC can actually play it as well. So
yeah, that's coming to PC later on too. Is it later on or is it the same time?
Same time.
Same time.
It's a mech game. Did you guys see the trailer for that?
Oh yeah.
It looked pretty fun for an EA game, honestly.
Yeah, it looked really cool. You get like jetpacks and you're running on walls and stuff, and then you jump in robots, and then your robot gets beaten up, and so you gotta like jet out of it and land on the other robot and shoot the crap out of its core. It looked really fun.
Multiplayer, single player, MMO player, whatever it is. I don't know. I think it's massively multiplayer on that.
From what I've been reading about it, it's strictly multiplayer, but they've been kind of designing it with a single player kind of feel with like cutscenes and what have you to kind of explain the story between missions, like between little games that you play. So I'm interested to see how that turns out.
All right, so on Microsoft conference, what did you guys think in general?
Who's starting?
Yay, nay.
Who's starting?
It doesn't matter.
Go ahead and go first.
Ryan or Mike, someone.
Go ahead, Mike.
It's just like I don't know. Like I think when they really seriously were really showy, which was really good. Like they came out guns blazing. They did that big, stunt with like the McLaren. They had a big, just a bunch of big, wigs come down and say, hey, we got these new games coming out. They're gonna be really cool. Everyone's gonna want a new Halo. I mean, that's what helped sell. I think the first Xbox was Halo.
Pretty much.
And it's been like a big recurring, selling point for every Xbox really. But the new Kinect I thought was really sweet. If you want to watch TV, hey, you can do that on your Xbox, and you can yell at it. You're just like, hey, turn off my TV and go back to the dang game, and then it's like, okay, and then it does that for you. So it's awesome. I think
you ask it to make a sandwich for you, though.
Can, but it'll tell you no, and then it'll say something afterwards like, you monster. And something about the cake is a lie, but anyway.
Don't you bring Portal into this?
But yeah, it's really honestly for $4.99. I know for me, I will not be getting one. I know like if a buddy of mine does have one, it's something I'm definitely going to check out. The controller is going to be really sweet to use on the PC someday. There's just I don't know like the digital rights management that they're doing with the 24-hour connectivity.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't play your game. For me.
Oh yeah, we forgot to talk about that, but that's we kind of talked about that in the
It's just like when I think about it, the biggest thing I think of is because I'm in the military. Is like if I wanted to sit down with some buddies, like after a hard days of work, like at a deployed location where we don't have internet, hey, let's play some Xbox. Yeah, let's shoot each other in Halo. Sounds great. We go to turn the thing on. Sorry, you can't play this game, and you're like, no, beep boo, beep boo. So
Yeah,
it's just like
absolutely.
it's bad. But I mean, I don't know. That was the only big drawback, that I saw or something.
So we have a nay. Okay, Ryan, go.
Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling I'm going to be the odd man out here because when I saw this conference, I thought they actually did what they needed to do, which was focus on games. They didn't talk about the TV stuff at all. And by the end of the conference, I thought it was a pretty good conference. The price was high. I'm not a big fan of the DRM stuff.
Right.
So I thought this was a good conference right up until I saw Sony's conference, which was an awesome conference.
Which we'll get to in a little bit, which was
right. But over the last few days, I've been thinking more about it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to get one. If for nothing else, I'm a Halo fanatic, so I want to play that, and I think a lot of my friends are also going to get the Xbox, and it's if I want to play with my friends, then I'm going to have to get one anyway.
Okay, so we got a yay, and then I'll go into it. I thought the conference was awesome. The games were great. I'm kind of with you, Ryan. There's a lot of stuff I want to play. Not so much Halo. I'm more focused on some of the Remedy is exclusive to it, and I'm really hoping they'll branch out and maybe do third party as well. But when Microsoft grabs a hold of them, they stay. Alan Wake was on their system for 2 years before it hit PC. So I was sold on a few of the games. Killer Instinct's definitely a seller, but I don't want it to be free to play. Hopefully they'll have a model that I can play because that was my stuff back in the day on Super Nintendo. I love that game. I love Killer Instinct. And there's always exclusives like Gears and all that kind of stuff. And I'm a big Gears fan as much as some people hate it. I really love Gears.
Dom's dead now.
Shut up. Spoilers! Spoilers!
As much as I loved Gears, playing 1 through 3, that was like our thing, me and Mike, for since the first Gears came out.
It was our bro game.
Yeah, it really was. But I think I'm done with the series now. I didn't pick up Judgment. I got really no interest in it, and I think I'm pretty much done with the series.
But honestly, the Xbox looks like it could be a cool system, but I'm not picking it up on release, nor am I picking it up in the first 2 or 3 years, or probably 2 years of play, unless they really show off some games I'm really going to play. I'm not going to side with Xbox One, though, because I'm a big PC junkie, and I'll just use my PC, Wii U, and something else I might have pre-ordered. Chris, go ahead.
Did you pre-order the Ouya?
Cookies don't count.
No. I didn't pre-order that. I pre-ordered something that's even a competition from Microsoft. So I'm going to say a nay yay. I will pick one up eventually, maybe.
So before I get into that, though, I want to piggyback on what you said earlier about the whole sandwich thing with the Kinect. I saw on the Daily Show the other night. It was pretty funny. Lewis Black was on there talking about some of the stuff, and I guess there's a robot that uses the same technology as the 360 Kinect, and it can predict when you want a beer or whatever drink that you said that you want to have. It can predict when you want to have a drink, pour you a drink, and
then all the time for me. Just bring endless amounts of. Oh, that's sweet. I get that.
But anyway, for me, the games looked awesome. What little true exclusives they have, what's it called? Titanfall, that's going to be on PC, whatever.
Right.
Quantum Break, it looks interesting. The concept is, same as Defiance, whatever. But, the games look cool, but I'm definitely going to say nay for the only reason that, the whole DRM thing, the 24-hour online check-ins, until they give me a solid confirmation that whenever 10, 20 or 10, 15 years from now they decide to shut down the Xbox One servers like they did with the original Xbox servers just now, when they shut those servers down, all my games that I buy aren't going to just be, vanished into the ether. I need that guarantee that my games aren't going to be worthless when they shut those servers down. Until I'm not buying it.
That's a big problem, and Steam, a lot of people bring that attention to Steam, but Valve actually came out and said, we will before we go belly up, if we ever go belly up, which we probably won't go belly up, we will give you all your games. We don't care, like we'll make sure you have them. But that's still up in the air with digital DRM. It's a scary world because we may lose everything.
Yeah.
So
and the whole 24-hour check-in thing, honestly, it doesn't bother me as much as it probably should because I'm connected to the internet anyway, no matter what. So it really won't be an issue for me. But I really don't like it, and I've seen
60% of the world is not America, though.
Yeah.
So
and like you and me, Mike, we've actually had this conversation about it, and you and like other people have said, "Oh, well, Steam does the same thing." 2 weeks in their offline mode, and you have to check in again. And I actually did some digging on that, and an official Valve person on the forum said, "Hey, that's actually not true. Our offline mode is designed to be a permanent, offline as long as you want it to be. And there's definitely bugs with it that don't let it work as perfectly as it should. And there is kind of a long process to get it working the way it's supposed to be. But it's definitely designed to be offline forever as long as you want it.
So DRM problems and 24-hour access. We need answers, Microsoft, and if anybody that's listening, that's Microsoft official.
We really do.
Also, one thing we also kind of forgot about too was like the whole used games debacle. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. No used games. You can give them to your friend, but they can't give them back, and they'll keep them or whatever. Yeah. And it's a whole mess.
There's supposed to be a way you can like let somebody borrow your games, I guess, but that's not going to be available at launch, and they don't know when they're going to be able to do that. It's just a mess. The whole system is a mess. Yeah. And but mainly the what is stopping me from buying the system point blank is I don't know what's going to happen 10, 15 years later when they shut those servers down.
Right.
But is that really that big of a deal? Because that happens now. Like Demon's Souls servers are shutting down. Phantasy Star servers have shut down.
Yeah, but you're still going to be able to play those games offline.
But those were all online games, and majority of the games that we're buying on Xbox are going to be single player games. And if we lose those, but to me, I don't really have as much issues if my Steam account shut down and they stole all my games away from me. Yeah, it would be upsetting, but it's
to the average person
very upsetting.
Like the average parent buying the console for their kids or whatever. They're not going to want to spend $500 on a console that, later on down the line, they're going to shut those servers down, and you're not going to be able to play any of those games that you spent hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars on. And that's a big deal to me and,
but it might not be that way. It could just be
right.
It could just be the system checks it. It's not per game.
They need to come out and say, hey, it's not going to be that way.
That's what I want. That's why Microsoft needs to give a clear answer. But I'm still going to go on my nay yay thing. I know Chris doesn't want one because of that. I don't have too much issues with it, but I mean,
I don't know. It's all good. And say, hey, that's not going to happen. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Right. And I don't know if you guys saw. I just saw this today, actually. That apparently behind closed doors or whatever, they showed a demo that they had worked on with NASA, which uses that cloud computing from the Xbox One, and they had mapped out like. Is it 35,000 light years of the Milky Way galaxy with all the asteroids and all the planetary stuff? And I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I saw that. That is awesome. Now, one thing I'll add, reason why I kind of like the Xbox One, but I won't get one right away, is the tech is awesome in it. The OS, they had 3 simultaneously OSs running in the background. That was pretty nice. I didn't really see what Sony was doing with their OSs, but Xbox OS looks awesome from the last press conference they did. So
felt a lot like Windows 8 too.
Yeah, it seemed like Windows 8, but better.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm not going to go a lot into EA's press conference because I want to get to the top 3 companies right now. They showed off, Chris, they showed off Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare.
Yeah, and I was really upset because you had said, it's only going to be Xbox One, Xbox 360. But then I looked into it some more, and they did confirm that later on, probably a few months down the line, it's going to be on PC too. So I'm happy.
It's like a 3D tower defense, like Plants vs. Zombies is, but 3D. It looked really nice. I don't know if you guys saw a trailer of it, but it looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it reminded me of... what is it called? Orcs Must Die that we bought on PC.
Orcs Must Die,
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but with Plants vs Zombies. So it looks fun.
Titanfall got announced again among a couple other Papa Cat games. Peggle 2 is going to be released. Woo!
Yeah, that's the thing everybody's been begging for, apparently.
Big news, but just a tease. EA is creating Battlefront.
They are?
Star Wars.
Yeah, I knew there was a reason. I was thinking about it. There's got to be a reason that they keep showing these old alpha videos for Battlefront 3 that they were working on, and
Nice.
here it is.
And
That's awesome.
Not only is it Battlefront, but it's being worked on by none other than DICE.
Yeah, and
DICE.
Really?
on the Frostbite 3.
Oh, dude.
So, Battlefield people are working on Battlefront. Yes.
Nice.
Wow.
It looks good. And did you guys play the originals back in the day?
Yes.
Battlefront 2 was awesome. I love it.
Yeah, when you got to play as the did you get to play as Vader and all them? Or,
Yes.
Yeah, you got to play
on
as
Battlefront 2, you
yeah.
got to play as the leader Vader while you got to command all your troops and everything.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
It kind of sucked at some points though, because I remember playing like the Hoth map, and like Vader's chasing you, and you can't kill those characters, so they're just invincible, and they're chasing you down the caves and stuff, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Except for Scream.
Need for Speed, another Need for Speed game. Rivals came out. Did you guys into Need for Speed?
Yeah.
Looked pretty good. New Dragon Age, that got announced. It was just a CG trailer. See, this is why we shouldn't drink, rum and cokes while we do a podcast. That looked pretty interesting. I'm not a big Dragon Age fan. Apparently, the second one kind of sucked. So, the internet said that. My wife said it was okay though. I never played it. So.
I played a demo. That's all I've played. I haven't even beaten the first one yet, though. I need to work on that.
Are you guys into sports games, Ryan?
I like the hockey games.
I know you're into hockey.
That's
Football.
about it.
Okay, so NBA Live, Madden 20, NBA Live 14, Madden 25, FIFA 14, EA Sports UFC. No game title. It's just called EA Sports UFC. Spring 14 that will come out. Those all come out in like 2014, 2013 end of it.
I did see something that I thought was kind of cool. Was in the NHL 14 for the fight system. They're actually incorporating the Fight Night tech. So it's supposed to be a lot more in depth than past games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, the EA's thing was kind of cool for me because it ended up being the shortest conference because I think I only watched about 25 minutes total of the whole thing because I don't give a crap about any of the sports titles.
Battlefield 4, of course, EA is going to announce their baby. Battlefield 4, they showed multiplayer footage of people playing on PCs, I believe. But they had some crazy map called Siege of Shanghai. That was a massive map. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, it looked really cool.
It showed them going up to a skyscraper building and then the building falling down, and it was 64 players, and you also can use a tablet to call in airstrikes or something. They're really incorporating tablet play.
Yeah,
with
I think
video games
the
now.
guy playing on the tablet was doing the whole commander mode thing, and I wish they would have went into a little more detail on that one. I think it sounded like what he did was he was able to join them for a couple minutes to help him capture some point, and then he went back to doing his Overwatch thing. But I wish they went into a little bit more detail with that because I guess he called in an airstrike or something on some tanks.
I remember from like just previous games, like they started the whole commander mode in 1942. And they
Battlefield 2 as well.
That's right. And then they took it over to 2142, and I felt like that was the last game where they really showcased it. And it worked really well because it's like, you can scan an entire area, and it's like, okay, here's where all the guys are, everybody. And then like the people that are actually running around in that zone, they just all of a sudden pop up on their map, and they're like, oh, hey, he's over here, and they shoot him, and he dies. So I
just hope you can do it with your phone too, not just a tablet.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a tablet. I just, it'd be really cool if everything works with, like iPhones or Android phones.
Secretly be at work and just like, dump a thing. Yeah.
Chris, I need your help with this. Now, I'm going to be getting this on a system that I did or did not pre-order yet. Maybe I did pre-order, maybe no. But it looks like it's going to be good on all systems, of course.
I felt like in their trailer when that giant skyscraper came down. It was so awe-inspiring that it remember like in I think it was Battlefield 3 where that tower came down like at the end of the map. They shot it and it just like came down. But it felt like it was almost a scripted event like that. Like instead of it actually legit.
But I think it was like, you take over this point and they took it over and someone bombed the crap out of it so that event took place, So that destructible environment looked fantastic. I'm sold on Battlefield 4 alone just by that. Just because of how massive the battles are compared to Battlefield 3, which is some of those battles in Battlefield 3, we all know this, are huge.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
shooting your friends is always fun too, right?
Yeah. I don't think the commander mode is going to work out quite as well as they made it look on the
I
thing.
hope someone can use it on the computer as well, not just on tablets.
But like where the one guy was like, I want you to go capture this point. That's an order. Nobody's going to do that. They're going to be like, whatever orders. I'm going to do whatever I'm doing right now.
Your friends hopefully will do it, but then again, most of our friends that play that game with us are jackasses, so I'm just kidding. Including ourselves. Hey, Mike, you got my back? Yeah. Oh, look at that!
I'm sorry, I thought you were over here. My bad.
Meanwhile, Mike found a motorcycle and he's driving that somewhere else.
Yeah.
After that, they announced a phenomenal game that everyone loves from EA. It's Mirror's Edge. They didn't really say that it was Mirror's Edge 2. It might have been a prequel, but it is Mirror's Edge that they announced.
I read somewhere it might have been like a reboot or something, but it
I don't think it's a reboot. I think it's either a prequel or the second game.
Yeah.
Either way. So, but that Brian, what do you think about Mirror's Edge 2? Did you ever play the original?
I did, but I actually did not enjoy it that much, so I'm not too excited about this.
You don't enjoy parkour? Who doesn't enjoy parkour?
Oddly enough, I do enjoy parkour, but I don't know. I just felt like it didn't quite work as I had thought it would.
Right.
I would love to enjoy parkour, but I am not anywhere near the shape that you need to be in for that.
I'm not a ninja. I'm a Jedi, so it's like just use the Force for stuff.
I do parkour all the time around my house, over my couches.
I never do that. I just watch it sometimes.
You should. Okay. Ubisoft, I want to do a quick rundown and highlight the fantastic games over the crappy games. Ubisoft last year was a little disappointing. They showed Far Cry 3, which was an awesome game.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't really have any awesome games of this conference. They had Splinter Cell they showed a little bit of. I'm not that excited for it for some reason.
Neither.
I don't know about you guys. Rayman Legends, I do want that game. It looks fantastic. They showed gameplay, a CG trailer. They had some new PC game called The Mighty Quest for Epic Loot or something.
Yeah.
Kind of MMO Facebook type-ish game. Looked cool. I don't know if it's Facebook type game, but it's
I don't think it's a Facebook game. Stuff too.
It seems like what's it called? That one game where you like design your dungeons and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then we have South Park. Since THQ went under, Ubi actually absorbed their game South Park: The Stick of Truth.
I'm pretty happy about that. Like, not so much that it's Ubisoft. I don't really care who develops it, but I'm glad that it got picked up by somebody because they get that game. I know you don't really care for South Park anymore, Mike, but I mean, I like it.
The game appeals to me actually now. I haven't watched it in years, but this game appeals to me. It looks fun.
Yeah. Kenny's still's got to die, right? I mean, somehow.
Kenny doesn't really die anymore from what I've seen. He's just kind of there. He doesn't really die every episode anymore. It's kind of weird. But they also showed off the Crew, which I saw this first before I saw the Need for Speed Rivals, and I thought they looked really similar with the whole, MMO kind of thing. Your friends can join at any time and help you with races and whatever. But it looked really cool. Like, it's got the giant open world kind of thing. You can drive around in Las Vegas, and I think they were in near Mount Rushmore on one of the things. And
it's like an MMO kind of game.
Yeah, you can just drive wherever the hell you want to go, and it it looks interesting. It might be the first racing game outside of like Mario Kart and that kind of thing that I buy. And you can use a tablet to customize your cars. It looks pretty cool.
Can you run over
fully
hookers?
Custom?
That's like the main question. You know?
Actually, I saw someone playing it, and they were running on the sidewalks, and people were dodging out of the way, like in Burnout and all the other games.
I love you long time. No, you won't.
I think in order to get your hooker, running over kick going, you have to play GTA 5.
I just do that with Mario Kart. I mean, it's good times.
Mario Kart?
Yeah, I mean, just throw some blue shells
hookers in that
girls, game. They're good.
Showed off a little more of Watch Dogs,
and
there was a trailer for Just Dance 2014. Whatever. My wife likes those games. I don't really care for them. I'm a DDR myself, games. So whatever. Rabbids Invasion. There was, I guess, there's a Nickelodeon TV show coming out, and there's Xbox One integration where you can kind of. They showed off where the little rabbit things were throwing eggs at each other, and I guess you can kind of shoot the rabbit with your Kinect stuff. So this stuff for little kids. They're gonna enjoy it. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. They showed some gameplay. It looks fun. I'm actually pretty excited about.
You're a pirate.
You're a pirate.
It looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty awesome.
It was. I was starting to get bored with Assassin's Creed because I'm still kind of chugging through Revelations on and off because I was getting bored with the series because I was tired of Ezio. He was an awesome character in Assassin's Creed 2, and he was okay in what was the second one, Brotherhood. But by the third one, I'm bored with the character. I'm bored with Rome. I want to go to a different time period, whatever. And so I'm glad that they're doing a new time period, a new character in every new game now, instead of giving us 3 games of another Ezio. So
did any of you guys play the third one?
I'm working on the third one right now.
Is it pretty good?
No, you didn't play the third one. You played. You're playing the other one.
No, I beat the second one. I'm playing through the third one on PC right now.
You have Assassin's Creed 3?
Well, not 3. Revelations.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about Assassin's Creed 3.
Assassin's Creed 3. Yeah, I know. I haven't played that one yet.
Okay.
I've seen some pretty bad reviews for it. Like it's not as good as they were hoping it was going to be. But
I want to do it to shoot bears and stuff,
right?
And get in touch with my Native American side.
But yeah, Assassin's Creed 4 it's making me excited for the series again. So I'm probably gonna have to rush through Revelations and then beat 3 so I can play 4.
I just want to do ship battles. I hope they have ship battles for multiplayer, because that's one thing I missed from playing like a lot of those like Sea Dogs. You guys ever play the PC game called Sea Dogs?
I've never even heard of that game.
That's the one where it's like it was like
made by Bethesda.
Oh, from like way back in the day. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
Dude, back in the day, like pirate ships. Yeah,
and like when you like sank, like the little like icon that was like your face, you like drowned, and then you turned into like a skull and crossbones, and you're like, oh, I just died.
I don't remember that, but that's a good detail. Next up on the list, there was a big game that was announced by Ubi, and I was very excited by it. It was called Tom Clancy's The Division, and they showed co-op play. It looks like you can play with multiple people and also people within a multiplayer world. I think you can play. It's like kind of like an MMO type game.
Yeah, it's like this big open world co-op RPG kind of thing, and it looked really cool.
And it's like has zombies or something.
Is it zombies? It's some kind of infection.
Zombies or mutants or something.
Yeah, because I saw the enemies that they were shooting at, and they had like grenades and guns and stuff. So they weren't like stupid zombies. They were intelligent. So. And
it was another game that's going to use this tablet feature where someone can go in and play a drone or something.
Yeah, the guy on the trailer, they had some guy on like a Overwatch like drone kind of thing, and he was tagging enemies and stuff and.
But really pushing the gimmick of using a tablet, a video game.
Yeah, the second really screen thing I've noticed from everybody is starting to pick up, and that's going to be like the next big thing.
Yep. All right. Most exciting conference of E3. Let's go ahead and talk about it. I know all of us probably want to.
It was Nintendo,
Sony.
right?
Yep.
Oh no, Sony. Okay.
Oh.
Well, they didn't kind of show up this time, but it would have been awesome.
I like Nintendo's, but Sony's was awesome.
Honestly, like for Nintendo's, like the only major thing that I'm really excited about is freaking Smash
Brothers.
Smash.
Well, Smash Brothers, and then they also have Deus Ex: Human Revolution, the director's cut, which looks awesome, but it's
I
supposed
don't
to
know
come out
how you can
sometime
be
this year.
excited about anything more than Smash Brothers.
Because we're
Yeah.
Deus Ex fans, and you hate yourself apparently. No, or maybe we hate ourselves. I don't know. Anyway, they started out talking about the Vita, which needed some spotlight. They're talking about games that are going to be released on Vita. Did anybody have a Vita?
I do.
I want one, but they've been way too expensive.
So Mike has one. What has it been, a bust or an awesome device for you?
Put it this way, there's one game that I absolutely love. It's called Super Stardust on I think it might have been a port from like a PS2 or something like that.
It's a PS3 game, actually.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah, so I mean, I bought that game as my first game, and it was awesome. Played it forever. I went on a few road trips, and sat in the back seat and was just like, yeah, die everything, and
But there's no games.
yeah, like after that, like there's no games, and I was like, okay, so where's our
here's
Monster
your year.
Hunter?
You're getting God of War HD collection,
Nice.
re-released, and re-released again.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2. That's also going to be for the PS3.
They got Gran Turismo game coming out.
Flower, Dead Nation. Dead Nation's an awesome game. Walking Dead plus the new Walking Dead game, 400 Days as well. All released on Vita this year, I believe. That's not a big list. I'm sorry.
Basically, they're just kind of trying to remind us that the Vita is a thing that exists. Hey, you remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. You should get one.
Like
It is a cool device. I just need more.
I really do want
inspiration
one
to buy
because
it.
there's been some PSP games that have come out recently that I really want to play, but I don't want to buy a PSP for that because there's also at least 2 or 3 Vita games that I want to play. So,
But they also said that the PS Vita is going to be a main thing for the PS4 to actually connect with. Like you can do what you do with the Wii U and play a game on your PS Vita.
Yeah.
By streaming it.
I'll say this
whole
about the
TV
Vita,
streaming
like-
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I definitely can say about the Vita though is it's got some pretty nice graphics. Like I got Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I love that game to death. I love fighting games, because my brother destroys me in them, but I like it. Hurts so good. But anyway,
Mike knows that feeling.
it's just like yeah. But it's just like like you watch those games and it's like, man, this looks really good. The only like port that I've seen from a PS3 to the Vita I was not happy with was Mortal Kombat. Like the graphics were way down, which I felt like didn't need to be that way, especially since like the just the processing power and the memory is pretty much either equivalent, if not maybe just a hair better than like a PS3. With
Right.
like all the extra features, but
After all the Vita talk, they did a Last of Us shout out, which just came out. Well, today when we're recording it, it came out today for Friday, and this will be released this weekend sometime. So, Ryan, you just picked that up, and I'm sorry we interrupted you to do a podcast because I know that game is awesome. So
It took about
go out and buy it right now.
took about 20 seconds before. I mean, the title screen was awesome. Then you just start playing it, and it immediately just sucks you in.
Huh, cool. So you've played a decent amount of it?
I played exactly 47 minutes because that's what it says on the pause screen.
that he's staring at intently.
You're like, hurry up and get done. That's okay. We got Nintendo next, and that's it. We'll try to wrap it up, but we'll get the main things. Puppeteer PS3 game that's coming out looks interesting. Rain. I didn't really see a lot on those two.
It was
I
I
kind
thought
of an
Ray
interesting
looked pretty
concept.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did look cool. I didn't like I said I didn't see a whole lot to it. Anybody see a lot about it that could explain?
I don't
It
know
was
about
just like
Rain.
these little droplets that became people, and then you ran around. It kind of reminded me of that game called Geist on the GameCube from back in the day.
I remember that
Right.
game. That game was cool.
Yeah, except like in that game, you like took like control of other people and then became them to like go do stuff. But in this game, it was like the rain became people, and then they like were like
That's what it
fighting
was,
each other and like just like crying and stuff because like of all this like other like crazy stuff. Because I guess it sucks to be a raindrop. It's like depressing or something. People like fight each other, but yeah.
I don't think I elaborated in my notes here because this was drawing towards the end of the day on Monday where my brain was already melting from the EA and Ubisoft and Xbox conferences. So
Actually, it's just Sony because it was that awesome.
Yeah, Beyond Two Souls, awesome game by the creators of Heavy Rain, was still being announced. They announced it last year, and they're doing more. They did a gameplay trailer, which it looked awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. I'm glad that I love Heavy Rain to death. It's one of my favorite PS3 games.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that this one is starting to look more than interactive cutscenes. I'm glad there's going to be actual gameplay. Is what it looks like to me.
Gran Turismo 6 is coming out for the PS3 and not the PS4, I believe.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
It's probably going to be both.
I don't know. We'll see. They did Batman Arkham Origins again, which that's been a heavily broadcasted game ever since, everyone's been talking about it. So that looks pretty good. Not the original voice actors, though, in it. From the original Batman is somebody else, and Mark Hamill is not the Joker.
Yeah, that's really weird. I can kind of see the reasoning behind Batman's different voice, because it's supposed to be like a younger Batman from when he's first starting out. So it makes a little bit of sense, but that new Joker, I don't know if I like it.
They showed gameplay of it, though. It's going to be released, and there's an actual release date that I was actually able to snag. It's going to be 10/25/2013, so this year, guys.
Yep.
Grand Theft Auto 5, anybody interested in that?
Yeah. I hope it's
on PS4, honestly.
Yeah. I hope
Did they say something about
PC.
a headset with that? It was like
it's a bundle. There's a bundle set with the game and a headset, or no, there's like a
PS3
headset
bundle.
you can buy a headset that's
because
like
they went on and on about we want you to be able to hear how awesome this game is, and we're like, yeah, we have expensive headsets.
Let's see. They showed off. That was the last game, and so they actually showed PS4 after that, and this is where it started getting exciting.
that PS3 bundle is going to be $299 though. The PS3
$299 for the bundle. Yeah, which is pretty good. That's a pretty good deal. However, they showed off the PS4 finally. They didn't show it in the original press conference. I know I posted a conflicting picture of it on our Facebook site, and I was like, I think it's kind of ugly, but everyone's like, oh, no, it's not,
I still kind of think it's ugly.
Yeah, okay, Chris agrees with me. What do you guys think?
I think it looks a lot like a PlayStation 2. And that kind of excites me. It looks really cool.
I thought it looked a lot like an Xbox One, but kind of
that too. Yeah, that too, definitely.
A slanted Xbox One.
Right.
I'm not too crazy about the design. I wish it was a little more sleek, and I like my consoles kind of have that clean look. Like, I even really like my black Wii U because it's just plain black, but it's also, I don't know. It's
gotta be black. I'm just kidding.
A couple years down the line, though, there's going to be a slim version that's probably going to look like the Wii U. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's not a bad. Thank you, whoever just posted that in there. It's not bad. It kind of looks plasticky to me, but that's not the selling point of it. I'm not worried about the looks. It looks futuristic. It's okay, The controller is a little weird. It has like some kind of touchpad on it, right?
Yeah, kind of like what the Vita has on the back of it, I guess.
Right, which that's not too bad. So I wonder what they're going to incorporate in the video games with it. But after that, it kind of got boring, and I had no idea what they're talking about. They started talking about TV and movies, and I kind of lost it right there. I didn't know what they were trying to say.
I almost wonder with like the TV and movies part.
They were just like, hey, we're gonna, and they were talking about all these crazy things, and they're like, video unlimited and music unlimited is going to be on there, and also they're talking about Redbox Instant, which was exclusive to Microsoft 360, exclusive for a while now. And now it's going to be on PS3, which is kind of cool. And we were just talking about like all the streaming apps basically that are going to be on the PS4, which that's important because they talked a majority. The PS4 or PS3 is actually the most used system for Netflix
because you don't have to pay for it,
right? But they were talking about all those Flickster and something like Live Event Viewer, I guess. But Chris, why don't you go ahead and the next set of stuff?
Yeah, then they started showing off some more PS4 games. The Order 1886. It looked awesome. Like it was just a CG trailer. There wasn't any gameplay, but I am just a sucker for the whole kind of steampunk kind of thing with like it's set way back in time, but they've got like guns with electric, like Tesla coil kind of things on them. I'm a big sucker for that kind of thing, so I'm excited for that. Killzone Shadowfall they showed off.
Killzone looks really good, but they actually showed more gameplay of it, so that's kind of cool.
And Drive Club they showed off. I think they mentioned that earlier this year as well. There was another trailer for that. Infamous Second Son. There was some gameplay, a little bit of insight on the story. I guess he's traveling with his brother. It looks like, and
no.
It's not his brother. Who is it?
It's his kid. I believe.
No, the guy that you play as with the superpowers. Isn't that like his?
I think that's Cole's kid.
No, I don't.
You haven't beat Infamous 2, so I'm not going to spoil.
Hey, spoilers!
Stuff.
Yeah, come on.
I'm not going to spoil stuff for anybody, but who's played Infamous?
I played the first one and it was awesome.
Yeah. You need to play the second one. Chris and me both need to beat the second one. I've unfortunately already heard a spoiler about the second one because of me watching IGN. Thank you, Greg Miller. Asshole. Killzone. Who's a fan of that series?
My little brother is.
I liked the story a little bit on 2 and 3. But I just can't get over the PS3 controller for shooters. It's really weird to me. I'm so used to the 360 controller for that kind of thing.
I'll probably pick it up to finish the storyline, but I wasn't crazy on the storyline. Multiplayer looked fun, and I think multiplayer is going to be pretty good on Killzone on the PS4. We'll see.
Yeah.
But the big one that looked really cool is Drive Club. They've announced it a couple times now, but it looked pretty fun. I'm not a big racing fan, but Drive Club looked like a pretty fun game maybe to play, and you will be getting that free with a PlayStation Plus subscription with the PS4.
Yeah,
I believe, and the first day you get it. But Infamous, Chris already said that, and we'll try not to go into that because I don't want that game spoiled for anybody else.
They also showed off a little bit more of Knack. It was a pretty short trailer, but there was some gameplay in there. Not a whole lot more information than what they gave already. Was it the Knack character talking in there with like a crazy deep voice? Because it sounded like it. I don't know. It was weird. But I guess are those all going to be launch titles?
Those going to be launch games, yeah. Launch games.
Well, that's cool. So. They showed off a real-time trailer.
This was awesome. The Dark Sorcerer. They've been teasing this.
That was funny. I love that. That was good.
They made it seem like it was live game footage, or it was a real time trailer. That's what they called it, and it was all it was all setting it up with a pentagram on there, and he was casting a spell, and all of a sudden he was like, he said his line wrong.
It was some word he was trying to pronounce. He couldn't do it, and he's like shit, and then it shows the green screen, and the goblin next to him was like, "Oh, first time in a video game," and it was pretty funny.
Watch the trailer, guys. Anybody that's listening to this, watch the trailer of the Dark Sorcerer, and they actually have 2 trailers, I believe, but the one from the E3 conference was hilarious.
Yeah, pretty good.
I don't know much more about that game other than that, but it looked fun. What was it? The creators of Bastion?
Yeah, they showed off a ton of indie games that are going to be on PS4 as well. Transistor, yeah. New game from the Bastion devs, and Bastion was an awesome game. If you haven't played that,
who's picked up Don't Starve besides Chris and I? No one.
Nope.
Have you guys ever heard of Don't Starve?
Nope.
Not food. We're not doing tacos. Don't Starve was like a survival kind of game, kind of like Minecraft, but your whole thing is not to starve, and there's a bunch of scary monsters around. Check it out on Steam. But it's actually coming to PS4 exclusively, other than PC, which is really baffling because the developer, I remember reading a article that he was writing or something, said he would never do consoles because he didn't think the game would transfer over to it. But that's going to be exclusive, and also I think a release tiled. Also, Octodad. Did you guys see that on Steam Greenlight?
I've seen it. It looks pretty funny. Yeah.
Is it kind of like from like the whole Octo Mom thing?
So that developer's on PS4. Also, Mercenary Kings. I don't know what that is. Secret Ponchos, Raise. They showed a bunch of them. It was really fast. Outlast. Oddworld New and Tasty.
What?
It's a rehash of the original Oddworld game.
I really like the Oddworld game, so I'm pretty excited
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Oddworld 2 is especially good.
One thing they didn't show was The Witness, and that's from the guy that made Braid. I think they showed that at their reveal event, whenever that was. I was hoping to see more of that because I think that looks pretty awesome.
I'm going to be the odd man out here. I didn't care for Braid, and I don't care for Jonathan Blow. I think he's kind of pompous and a bit of an ass. Like
he did just say that everyone's doing adventure games wrong, and he could do them better.
Yeah,
so,
like with the thing back in February with the PS4. Like I guess he came up after some other game. It was the Killzone one. And he's like, I don't know how I can follow all those explosions, and he just said it in this really, what's the word? Like derogatory, kind of condescending way. Like explosions are bad no matter what, and indie games are, the best stuff ever. So
anyway,
there's my little rant on that.
That's Chris's rant corner right there. They of course went more into Diablo 3 that got announced a while back ago on PC a long time ago when people cared. Diablo 3 is going to be on PS3 and PS4. Also, you can get cool little Sony exclusive items like Uncharted items or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you get some items from Uncharted, and I think you can get the little shoulder pads or cloak or whatever from Journey.
Mike, do you want to do this next one? Are you excited for this one?
Okay, everybody. There's this awesome game. It's called... Wait, where are we? Oh, here we are. Okay, so there's this awesome game. It's called Final Fantasy Versus 13. It hasn't been around for like a million years, and
but it's not really 13. It's Final Fantasy.
Exactly.
15.
They changed it to Final Fantasy 15 because, like, in the trailer, they're like, okay, well, everything has to change for the 15th coming, and then they're like, oh, backspace, 15, and then I pretty much, just exploded, and I had to pick myself up. I was like out in the yard and like I don't know, somewhere over like in a chocobo, like riding off into the sunset, and I was like, "There's 15, yeah." But yeah, it looks.
So you're excited, Bill?
I'm really excited. I don't know, the trailer that they've had for it for a million years, where like the dark-haired guy, I don't know what his name is. He always like hangs out with this blonde girl. And then all this random shooting starts happening, and there's like, just Final Fantasy, like awesome. Just people fighting stuff. There's like these like sorcerers with cool magic skills. Oh, hey, we got these awesome sword fights. But this trailer,
cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah, like it kind of like tied the story into it. Like the story, it seems like he's part of like this. I don't know, like this like kingdom, and he's like a prince or something like that, or some kind of royalty. And they come in, they kill his dad. And so it's like now it's like him trying to like run away and do something, but it just the way that they presented it, it's going to be a good story. So watch out for this game.
I'm really excited about it too. I get like a really strong Final Fantasy VII vibe with all the modern like technology and buildings and what have you.
Ryan, you excited?
I think I'm the only one that's not, probably. I just feel like to me that was kind of the low point of the conference, was not Final Fantasy 15 in particular, but the entire Square Enix thing, just because everything they've put out, I feel like since Final Fantasy 11, I just haven't been a big fan of, and the gameplay or whatever they showed here, it just didn't look like Final Fantasy to me. It looked more like action kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was weird. Like it said in the trailer, I think it's like a fantasy in reality or something like that, and it was actually pretty interesting. They showed off some pictures later on. I think I found them on like Kotaku or something. But the cop cars that I guess that are in there are actual Japanese cop cars, and they just put whatever Final Fantasy like cop logo thing on it, and the buildings are all actual Japanese buildings and that kind of thing.
Well, besides Final Fantasy 15, they teased hardcore. I don't know if anybody's excited about this, but I kind of am. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
That is going to be on Xbox One as well. So anybody that's wanting an Xbox One, they are going to be releasing Kingdom Hearts 3 on there. But it looked cool.
I'm excited.
Graphically, I don't know about it yet. It's too early to tell. But
the demo that they showed of it was really unfinished. Like he just like ran around like this little section of a town, and these bats chased him, and he just like swung at the bats, and that was it. And it was like, oh, okay. Well, there's this game coming out.
Cool. And then they did announce that, we all know Final Fantasy 14 is being re-released, and it's going to be on PS3 and PS4. And they did confirm that your PS3 account will transfer over to PS4. Apparently, I don't know how that's going to work. Ubisoft, of course, came out more Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and there was some slowdown and freezes or stuttering and then a final freeze, and so the demo never got finished.
Yeah, I thought that was just IGN's crappy video player at first, or my internet connection or something. And then it was an actual thing. So it was like, oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. They showed Watch Dogs after that, which they showed that at the Ubisoft press conference, and that looked really good. They showed tablet play with that. Again, another game with tablet play.
Yeah.
And also, this is exclusive for Xbox or Xbox. Blah blah blah. This is an exclusive for PS4 owners. I'm sorry. 1 extra hour of gameplay or something. I guess that's what they revealed.
Yeah.
Chris, why don't you take it away after this?
Then they showed off some 2K sports stuff. Who cares? Whatever.
Yeah, seriously.
Wait. Before we got other people, do you guys care?
No.
Okay.
No, nobody cares.
The big thing we do care about. Go ahead.
We play video games. You don't care about sports.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls Online was the next thing they showed off. I'm still kind of working on getting started on Oblivion, so I can't really comment too much on that. But
you mean Skyrim?
Yeah, Skyrim. That's the one. Way behind.
And Oblivion.
Skyrim is on track.
It's okay, because it's supposed to take, I think it's like 1,000 years in the past from Skyrim. So it's like a lot of the books and stuff that you read in Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, like all that stuff, like you actually like live that in the game. So it's like it's pretty much like 3 big giant like teams that form like packs. They all come in towards like the Imperial City to try to take it over because the king dies. Or, I'm sorry, the Emperor dies. And,
looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm just
that's going to be coming out in spring of 2014, and there's going to be a beta, of course.
It's actually PlayStation 4 is getting the first beta,
right.
Not PC users, which is a big WTF.
That's why they never wrote me back. Go shoot myself. I'll be right back.
There was
it looks cool.
There was another trailer for a new game. Have you ever watched the Mad Max movies?
I've never watched a Mad Max in my life.
I feel ashamed to admit that I have not.
Yeah, it's supposed to be one of those big movies that everybody's supposed to watch at some point. I've never watched it either. But I guess
you guys suck. No, I was being sarcastic. I've watched Mad Max.
Oh, have you? Seriously?
Yeah,
that's like the cartoon, right? The cartoon.
You guys are horrible.
No, it was like Mel Gibson, wasn't it?
Gibson movie.
No, yeah, it was with Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
It was the start of his career. Go watch Mad Max.
Oh yeah, that one with Mel Gibson. Gotcha.
You've watched it, right? Right, Mike?
Yeah.
The 2 Mikes have watched it.
Yes, I did.
Anyway, there's a game coming out.
That does sound false. You guys suck. Anyway, a CG trailer for Mad Max. It looks like, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be good, but who knows?
There's going to be a Road Warrior survival kit that is only going to be on the PS4. So I guess look for that if you're a big Mad Max fan.
And here's a surprising little fact. 140 games are being developed for the PS4 right now. And 100 in the first year after release.
How many?
That's 140 are being developed. 100 are going to be released in the first year.
Nice.
Yeah, so
that is fantastic.
That's really good.
That is great. Right now, the Wii U is at like 20. And it's 6 months later.
Yeah.
They're all
and then Sony came out and dropped the nuclear bomb, so to say. They came out and they said, hey, all that garbage that the Xbox One is doing, we're not doing any of that. No DRM on disc versions of the games. Use games. Whatever. Do what you want. Lend your games to your friends, sell them, whatever the hell you want to do. You bought it. Go for it. Offline system for disc games and digital versions. You don't have to have 24-hour online check-ins.
One thing I do want to elaborate that I did find out after the conference is Sony is leaving it up to the developer whether they want to put DRM on it.
Right.
And that just means it's just like it is now, technically, where if a company such as Sony or one of the games wants to, like EA, there's a good example, wants to do a, what's it called, little online pass, they can, but you don't have to. So that's kind of cool. It'll probably be more or less like the PS3 is right now.
Yeah.
With no DRM on it.
Well, I actually saw something where they said they were not going to allow companies to do online passes anymore. They were going to have to, if they wanted to do some kind of thing like that, they have to think of something else.
I'm just wondering, like, because Sony said their own games weren't going to have DRM, but they said it's up to the publisher, but the publishers probably won't do it either. So
yeah, it's a really unpopular thing right now, and I think that's a little bit of why EA went ahead and did away with their online pass thing. But then, both consoles are kind of leaving it up to them to figure out what they want to do with it. But, yeah.
They did announce that PS Plus membership carries over from PS3 to PS4, but also, this is a big depressing moment, but not a big issue. Plus is now a feature that you need to play online. I did see, though, like, if you want to play PlanetSide 2, which has been announced for PS4, or DC Universe Online, you can play those games without having PlayStation Plus.
Right. All the free-to-play games you're going to be able to play them online without PlayStation Plus.
I think it's good that they're requiring PS Plus, because who's paying for these servers?
Right. And the PS4 is doing so much more stuff now. They're going to have party chat through Skype. Cross game chat,
Skype, and other things. Who knows? They haven't really elaborated, but it was just,
and all the like the streaming and the video sharing and all that stuff.
Gaikai later on,
right? It's all going to be expensive, and the costs have to come from somewhere. And really, I'm not upset about it. I was probably going to pay for the Plus anyway, just for the free games they do every month. So I'm really not mad about it.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it either. I mean, I've been paying for Xbox Live, and I never had a problem with that, because it's fairly cheap. It's like comes out to like $3 a month, I think.
It's cheap, but I wish they would have gave us more of it, and they started to later on down the line with all the little apps, I guess, like Sci-Fi, and I think they had CW on there. You could watch all their shows for free with Gold. But when it first came out, Gold was kind of a rip-off for the most part. When I don't know, this is just my own.
They still had like the marketplace for the movies and stuff, which PlayStation didn't have initially,
right?
So to me, I didn't think it was a big deal, and I don't think this is a big deal either.
No, it isn't. And the biggest price point, we talked a little bit. Gaikai is going to be coming. Gaikai streaming service is going to be coming out in 2014, which is a little disappointing, but that's okay, since they just released information at the end of the conference that the PlayStation 4 will be $399, cutting Xbox One's price by $100.
Yeah.
And it's going to be released this holiday season. No confirmed date. I'm guessing either through October through December, probably. So.
Yep.
What is this? No mention of PS2 for Vita or PC. Sad face.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to agree. I'm pretty sad about that too. I was hoping to hear a little bit more about Phantasy Star Online too.
You heard it.
I don't know. That was like the game to play back in the day. And when I forget who mentioned it earlier. About like the Phantasy Star Online servers. Just like
is that made by Sony?
It was actually made by Sega.
Yeah.
Sega. Oh, well then why would it be mentioned on the PS?
It's coming to the call it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be on PC,
PS Vita,
and the PS3, I think.
Okay.
So, or PS4.
Well, that stinks that they didn't announce that. But either way, the PS4 is cheap. It's affordable. It has a lot of features that we want. We could all agree that it's what we want, correct?
Definitely. That was. It's kind of sad, but it's a real indication of where the industry is kind of headed. That all week there was like through the entire week there wasn't such a thunderous applause as when Sony came out and said, "Hey, we're okay with used games. You can play offline as long as you freaking want."
It was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, and so that's what people want, and it's kind of funny that such a big applause, the biggest one all week, came from that.
I know 2 people in this chat room right now that have pre-ordered the PS4, and one has already paid it off. And Ryan,
yeah, I've been.
Not to be named or anything.
You're not excited.
I've typically been, a bigger fan of the Xbox and stuff, but
yeah,
I just feel like if you're a gamer, Sony just gave you everything you wanted here, and with the price that sealed the deal for me. And I've been trading in games for like the past few years, trying to build up credit so I could buy these things when they came out because I knew they were going to be expensive. So yeah, I pretty much had it paid off.
I was really shocked when I saw it on Facebook and Twitter. You're like, I got a PS4 pre-ordered and I paid it off. I'm like, holy crap, hell just froze over.
Yeah, that price is just the nail in the coffin. For
exactly.
Thing,
I will admit it now.
And on top of all the other stuff, oh hey, we're also $100 cheaper than the Xbox.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
Yeah.
And I pre-ordered one as well today. My local shop only had a few left, and I actually did. I wasn't gonna do it because I didn't know if I wanted to. I have a badass PC. I really do, and I didn't know if I wanted to just buy it for a couple exclusives right now or whatever. But I went ahead and just pre-purchased it because it looked awesome, and the PlayStation 4 streaming button and all, like sharing with your friends what you play, and it's really cool. Yeah. So I went ahead and pre-ordered it before there's a backlog and you can't pre-order it for a while, because this holiday season for Christmas, the PS4 is going to be probably the hottest item on the market.
Absolutely. I'm really tempted to go and pre-order it tomorrow myself, but I don't think that it's going to be, for me personally, it's probably not going to be a good idea because it's going to be coming out at the same time I'm supposed to be having my kid. So it's going to be a bad time for money. But also, I'm actually surprised you went ahead and pre-ordered it, Mike, because with the Wii U having as many problems as it did in the first few months, I'm kind of wary about launch, like buying a console at launch. So
as I told you in a text message, I like chewing on bullets and having them not go off in my mouth.
You're a gambling man, but I kind of want to wait for the first few months and let them iron out all their bugs and whatever.
Hey, this was a Father's Day present for me to pre-order it, so I thought that was pretty cool, So,
but after the whole giant fanfare of PS4 is going to be awesome, Xbox sucks.
Yeah.
They showed off some gameplay of Destiny, Bungie's new post Halo baby that they're doing. And
we forgot Destiny. That was
that was the little ending piece of their little conference, and it looks awesome.
Destiny, Ryan, you're a big fan of Bungie, so
I see Bungie doing sci-fi. I'm in.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. I mean, they did spend a little bit of time waving at each other at the very beginning, but that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked cool though. The customization, the sound effects sounded kind of like Halo. It was a sci-fi world. It was awesome. But PS4 guys, it's either you're gonna buy a Xbox One or a PS4, but the PS4 I think is gonna be the bigger bang for your buck.
Definitely.
So,
I think another thing to mention too is like when we're talking about like Bungie and Halo is there was somebody out there that was real big. It might be even like Steven Spielberg, but they're making I think it was like a Halo like TV series or something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
Steven Spielberg. They talked about that on
and that's on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Or it'll be exclusively on Xbox One. I don't think it's going to even be on regular TV. I think you have to have an Xbox One to watch it.
Right.
So I'm not saying that's the case. You're probably going to be able to find it online somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But, that's kind of cool. But PS4 guys, that's cool. Next up, we're doing Nintendo. I was a little afraid because of what Nintendo was doing. They were not at E3 this year, except as a small little conference in their booth. And they went ahead originally and played everything on YouTube and live streaming, but it was just a recorded film of what they're releasing. Did everyone catch that? Or
yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ryan, did you catch it, or do you not have much interest in Nintendo products? I was curious.
Yeah, and, I did not catch it, and basically for that reason. I don't know. I was a big Nintendo fan growing up and everything, but I guess that ship has sailed for me, kind of.
Right. We, Chris, me, and Mike actually all have Wii U's. Mike wasn't supposed to have a Wii U, but he ended up getting one. But they announced a lot of cool games. Mainly, they mainly focused on Wii U and well, it wasn't even a conference. It was just Nintendo Direct. They started out with Pokemon X and Y, which I'm actually pretty excited for. I have a 3DS. I like 3DS. The other Chris that was in our podcast that made Rhythm Destruction, he's a big Nintendo fan. I know he was excited about it.
Yeah.
Sure, probably had him in this.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of Animal Crossing on the.
I have too, unfortunately.
If you need some pears, talk to Chris.
It's kind of like crack. So they announced Pokemon X and Y again for the third time on their directs. Yeah. It looks like it's cool. They showed off new Pokemon, a new fairy Pokemon type. Okay. Release date October 12th. I know you guys probably aren't that excited. You guys probably haven't played Pokemon since Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Have you played Pokemon recently? Anybody?
The last one I played was Pearl, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fully 3D. It looks good for a 3DS game. After that, they announced. Oh, actually, Chris, go ahead since you're more excited about this than I am.
Yeah, Super Mario 3D World, and I can kind of get why you weren't too thrilled about it. You were expecting like a new Mario 64, Mario Galaxy kind of thing.
Or Mario Sunshine.
That's honestly what I was hoping for too. I wanted a new Mario 64 type game, but without the whole little gimmicky water pump thing from Sunshine and the Galaxy stuff. I didn't care for.
Don't you talk shit about that water pump? It was awesome.
But Super Mario 3D World I guess it's supposed to be a follow up to 3D Land that came out on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically that, but it's in 3D, and they have cat suits now, so you can get a suit that's a cat, and you have claw cats and stuff.
I saw a really disturbing video of all the developers that made the game posing on stage going meow. It was really disturbing.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed too. I watched the whole trailer. I was kind of like the first couple seconds of the trailer. I texted you, was like, "Oh, this looks awesome," and you're like, "Eh." But then I watched the rest of the trailer. I get what you're not so thrilled about it.
It looks cool, but I mean, it's just like a 3D version of what we have for the new Super Mario Brothers game for Wii U.
Yeah,
it's just a 3D version of which it looks cool. It looks like I may pick it up later on, but it's not going to be a must get for me.
Yeah.
The next game that they listed was Mario Kart 8, and that game looks awesome.
Yes, it does.
They had anti-gravity walls. Ryan, did you play Double Dash at all?
Yeah, Mario Kart is one of the franchises that I'm still a pretty big fan of. Like, those are always fun.
Great.
I kind of wished they would announce something like Double Dash again, like it had some of those features in it. I think that I'm like one of the odd man out that actually liked Double Dash because a lot of people didn't like it.
No, I like it too. I remember
going
to our gaming parties. I think you and I would team up on Double Dash and just wreck
yeah,
shop.
because you got to share the controller. It was really cool.
Yeah.
That was back then. I just would have wanted online play with Double Dash kind of thing. But they had like this cool anti-gravity mode where you were like running on walls and different vehicles, motorcycles, cars, or whatever. It was just really cool. But they really elaborated. They said they have a good online mode for it and easy to join. So it looked fun. It's Mario Kart. If you're interested and watch the trailer, it is just Mario Kart with better graphics and better features.
Yeah,
so
that's going to be coming out in spring of 2014. And Mario 3D World, by the way, is going to be coming out December this year. So It'll be there for Christmas. Next up was Wii Party U, which I kind of wish it was just Mario Party. I don't really like how this one looks. But
it's just one of the generic Wii games. It's just one of the generic Wii games where they have like 80 mini games and get to use your gamepad, which is fun. It's a good hey, let's get drunk and play this Wii game.
Yeah.
Really.
So
that's going to be out October of this year. Another Wii Fit game coming out. No release date just yet. Like not a set in stone one, but December of this year at some point. Wii Fit U is coming out.
Yeah.
Art Academy. They went into. They showed off some of the really awesome fan art of what people have been doing on Miiverse. It is really cool. If you have a Wii U, you should definitely check it out if you haven't already. But they saw that and it was like, hey, why don't we make a game out of this? And so they're doing Art Academy. It's in development right now, and they're going to be adding like colored pencils, colors, all kinds of cool stuff. And some of those features are going to be coming out on the Miiverse this summer.
It's really cool. Like, I mean, just you can really make an elaborate drawing. And so I have a couple friends that are really good drawers on Miiverse, and they draw just phenomenal stuff. And Ryan, have you seen Miiverse at all?
I have not.
Okay, Miiverse is think of Facebook, a wall of posts you get to post, and it's like a message board, but you can also draw on there, and there's some really good artists on there. But now with this game, Art Academy, you're going to be able to use colors. It sounds kind of lame, but if you're really into art, it's a cool feature, and I will be picking it up because I like drawing on Miiverse.
So is that like part of the dashboard?
It is.
Okay.
It's like it's integrated with most games. You can actually instead of achievements for, let's say, Wii games or Wii U games, you can use the Miiverse to post, hey, look at what I just did, and post a screenshot or draw something or type or whatever. It's really cool, but Art Academy will add to that.
Or if you're stuck in the game, like Mike probably is on Super Metroid right now, you can post a picture of where you are.
Shut your mouth.
And be like, hey, I need some help here, and then people can comment on that and say, hey, you need to go do this. So it's cool stuff.
Which is pretty cool. It's like a bunch of people gathering. It's a really cool feature of Wii U. It's one of the biggest selling points for a lot of people, believe it or not. But Art Academy will add to that, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, also they started listing third-party support. It's very slim, but it's there. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. We've already talked about that. Batman Arkham Origins will be on the Wii U. Batman Arkham Origins Black Gate will be on 3DS. Some of this is also 3DS stuff. Mike, go ahead.
Well, I've been sitting here coloring this whole time on the Deus Ex Human Evolution Director's Cut. It's going to come out pretty soon. It's going to come out this year. They don't have an actual release date yet, but I'm really, really excited.
They did announce that they're going to be porting all the features over to PC and PS3 and Xbox, but I am uncertain whether they're going to actually bring, like you're going to have to buy a new game of it. That's what I'm thinking you're going to have to do.
I will.
I don't know if it's going to be a new game. I think it'll probably be the. It'll
for
be like
PC, I think a patch will happen, but for the other consoles, it's going to be a director's cut. It's going to be like you're going to be buying it. Now, they just to keep it so people may be buying it on the Wii U, they may just make it a single version that you're going to have to buy that because it includes everything. So I'm wondering if on Steam they're not going to update it. That would suck, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, with the director's cut, it's not just the core game and the missing link and then the whole touchpad stuff. There's also going to be an actual new section of the game.
Right.
What's it called? The one character who dies in the game. You all know who I'm talking about, but I guess you can like kind of try to rescue her or something.
Yeah. Anyway, but the best version of the game to get, honestly, and this is coming from Square Enix's mouth and a lot of fans too, is the Wii U version for the integration of the Wii U gamepad, which does really add a lot of extra stuff to it. So I don't want to go too much into that's an old game, but it is worthwhile. If you've got a Wii U and never played it, pick it up when it comes out.
Yeah.
Disney Infinity was announced. It's already been announced. They just kind of re-showed what it was doing. Gave it a release date, August 18th, 2013. Just Dance has already been announced by Ubisoft and the Ubisoft one. It's got a date, October 8th, 2013. I'm glad to see Ubisoft is still supporting Wii U. Especially Especially if the next title, Rayman Legends, that got pushed back because of other consoles. September 3rd, 2013. So at least we have that. We also have Scribblenauts Unmasked, a DC Comics adventure. Anybody that's a fan of Scribblenauts, which I bought that on Wii U on release, you get to create your own world. It's fun. And then they have it also coming out on 3DS as well.
How do you feel about that one? I know you're a big DC fanboy. Are you going to pick up that one?
Nope.
No?
No, maybe when it's in the bargain bin. I just didn't really like Scribblenauts as much as I wanted it to. I mean, yeah, I did make a cannibal eat a dead baby, but it was that was probably the peak of awesomeness for that game.
It's a pretty high peak.
Yeah, I mean, getting a cannibal to eat a dead baby in a game on a Nintendo console, that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, I think the high point for me on the series was on the first one. You know, I would just get bored with the puzzles, and I would like summon stuff to fight a Cthulhu, and that would be the only thing I would do.
Right. I'm kind of running out of time, but we got DC Planes. No one's really interested in that. It's a Disney movie. This one I am. Shin Megami Tensei 5. Did I say that correctly?
Looks like 4.
4?
That's what it looks like here.
Shh, I can't read Roman numerals. July 16, 2013. Whoosh. Skylanders Swap Force. October 13th. Games that, you know, a lot of kids will probably like. Blacklist, Splinter Cell Blacklist is actually going to be coming out August 20th. A lot of third-party games, actually. Sonic Lost World. Anybody excited for that?
That actually looks like a really good game. It
reminds me of Colors and Generations mixed together.
Yeah.
So
it's like one of these games where like I was watching like a gameplay demo, and it's unlike, like, you know how like the old 2D Sonic, it was like, you know, like a side scroller and you did stuff. Yeah. It was very similar to that, except when they were talking about with like the whole like Sonic Adventure games, they said that, you know, people love the speed, but like they would like accidentally go too close to an edge and just, you know, go flying way off. So they made this like whole like floating in the air, almost like how they did with Super Mario Sunshine with like those little bonus levels. And yeah, it was pretty legit.
I'm not even a Sonic fan, and after playing Generations, I actually really liked it, and I played a little bit of Colors on Wii. But Sonic Lost World looks really good. Yeah. It looks like a great game. It's going to be on 3DS and Wii U holiday season this year.
I'm pretty excited about it too. You sent me the gameplay video. I think they came out a few days ago, and I was kind of worried because the first bit of it gave me a really strong Mario Galaxy vibe. I was like, I don't know about this. And then they showed the other two maps, and it looked pretty fun.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Watch Dogs, there's a lot of third party on the Wii U coming up. November 19th, Watch Dogs for every console.
This game that didn't seem like they showed enough of. It was pretty cool.
It's just a great game, and I wondered how it will run on the Wii U. I hope it runs good because they are considering Wii U as a next generation console. It may not be as awesome as PS4 or Xbox One, but it's still a next gen system.
You know, as much as I want to get that on PS4 or PC for graphics wise, I'm real tempted to still get it on the Wii U just for the touchpad stuff.
Yeah, exactly, I want to see what they do with the touchpad, because they could do absolutely nothing with the touchpad, which it's Ubisoft. I doubt they will not touch that, but I'll have to see, because I don't know. I may pick it up for the PS4.
On a game like that, though, where like the whole thing is centered around, hey, I'm going to hack the entire world with my cell phone. They'd be foolish not to do anything with the touchpad.
But they also might not integrate the tablet support and phone support that they're doing on the PS3 and PC and Xbox One version, which that might be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
eShop, Mike, you download some eShop games sometimes?
Actually,
you just download the 30-cent games, don't you?
Yeah, I just picked up Super Metroid, actually, for I think it was 30 cents.
Yeah, and Chris has got a couple of those. I've bought more than just old classics. I've bought some of the, like, what's it called? Little Inferno, when it first came out. That was fun, before it even came out for anything else. But they have a lot of cool indie games, and not all of them are indie games, but they are. They have Ballpoint Universe, Cloudberry Kingdom, which I think was Cloudberry Kingdom a Xbox game at one point.
I'm not sure.
maybe that's something else. Oh no, that's the later on. The World of Keflings.
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah, that
one?
was a
Okay.
Kinect game.
Cloudberry Kingdom, Coaster Crazy Deluxe is a roller coaster game. DuckTales Remaster, which I will be picking that game up on the Wii U.
Yeah, that's
Dungeons
a
and
remake of the old school NES DuckTales game from Capcom.
Oh, nice.
Dungeons and Dragons Chronicles of what was that?
Mystara?
Mystara, there we go. I can read. Mutant Muds Deluxe, which is already out on the Wii U now this week. Oddworld New and Tasty, which has been announced for every system. Scram Kitty and his buddy on rails. What? Shovel Knight, which everyone's been looking forward to. That's going to be 3DS and also Wii U. Spin the Bottle.
Yeah, seriously, what the heck?
I didn't know what to make of that game. I had no idea what was going on.
I think the creators were on acid or something. I don't know. And then the World of Keflings, which did you ever play that, Ryan, on Xbox when it came out?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I hear good things, but yeah.
Yeah, it was an okay game, I guess. I watched a buddy play it at his house one time. Big reveal, Chris, go into it.
Yes, Wind Waker HD, Legend of Zelda. I'm real excited about this one. I never got to finish the original Wind Waker on the GameCube. I got stuck where you have to search for all the Triforce pieces, and there's like 37,000 of them, and you gotta search the entire ocean for them, and it was just boring. I got stuck and never picked it up again. I'm real excited for the new one to actually finish the game this time, and it's pretty cool. There's for anyone who's played the original one, they had where you could there's an item you would get from Tingle, and it would let you connect with your Game Boy Advance for some kind of thing. I never actually used it, but you're going to be able to use the Miiverse with that instead, since obviously it's not going to work with Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance, yeah.
But
which is pretty cool.
That's going to be coming out in October, and I'm super excited. It looks beautiful. I can't wait.
Next game that I want to talk about real quick, Wonderful 101 has been a tease for me since they first revealed the Wii U. It's kind of the same art style as Viewful Joe.
Yes.
And you get to use people to battle other things with, I guess, and like your own superhero team, and it's ridiculous. Everything's crazy in that game. Go watch the trailer. I'm not gonna go any more into it, but next up they revealed Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and it's made by Retro Studios, which they haven't made a game in a while, and it looks like original Donkey Kong with extra features, 3D modes, and it looks good. That will be, surprisingly enough, will be coming out in November. I thought that was pretty cool because November's coming up, and that would be a great game to pick up, especially if you're a Donkey Kong fan. Chris, you like this game, maybe?
Maybe. I still haven't played the first one, but Bayonetta 2 is coming out in 2014
Mike,
at some point. There's no actual date yet.
Do you like Bayonetta?
Mike? Me?
Yeah.
I've never seen it, but someone said something about she has like a ton of hair and it like covers her entire body, and I immediately said, gross.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Like her suit is made out of her hair, and she uses her hair to do whatever magical things. And like the more powerful like, screen filling her spells are, I guess like the less of her body her hair covers or whatever.
There's hair in my suit.
It's crazy nuttiness, but I am a big fan of the style of gameplay, like the whole Devil May Cry kind of thing. So
exactly, yeah. I was just thinking about that too.
Yeah.
Ryan, did you play that game at all? The first one?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games of this generation, I think. I'm still holding out hope that this will come to PS4 or Xbox One at some point.
The company's already said they will not do it. They're not going to be one of those.
That feels like a waste.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Nintendo is the core audience for this game.
Yeah.
You might look into it though, Mike, because the devs are the same people doing Wonderful 101, Platinum Games.
Yeah, I'm just not a big hack and slash kind of person, unless it's I don't know. Next game was what's it called?
They haven't given.
They haven't named it. It was by the same company that made Xenoblade and Millennium, and it's mechs, and they didn't really elaborate, but it's an RPG. It looks really cool. It's just, I think it may be Xenoblade something. I just don't know if it really is because they haven't elaborated on it, you know?
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Take it away, whoever's excited.
Super Smash Brothers. Yes.
For 3DS and Wii U.
Yeah.
So
the sole reason that I bought the Wii, honestly, for Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
It's
Mega Man is going to be in it. What? They've been clamoring for Mega Man since Melee, I think.
Yeah.
And he looks awesome. He's like a legit representation of like the original 8-bit Nintendo Mega Man.
Yeah.
Like
when he dies, the little sparkly things like doo.
Yeah, the little ball things fly around everywhere. Like the way he jumps and shoots, it looks exactly like his old sprites would have.
And another character I'm actually excited for, and believe it or not, and a lot of people are like, why is this in there? The Wii Fit trainer, the female, is in this game as a brawler. And I laughed so hard because it looks so ridiculous. But after I saw a video of her fighting, I want to play her so much because she looks like the cheapest character in that game.
Oh, man.
Besides the villager. The villager is
Animal
actually a character from Animal Crossing, and we were just talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
But it showed a move where you chop down a tree and it hits them as their finishing move, and they flew off the screen after the tree hit them. It was hilarious.
What I think is going to piss a lot of people off, and I think that he might actually get banned from tournaments. But you can when somebody shoots whatever projectile at you, you can like grab it and collect it and put it in your pocket, and then I guess
and shoot it back at them.
Yeah.
Ryan, did you see the videos for Super Smash?
I have not. I'm right now. I'm watching the Bayonetta 2 trailer.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, you gotta check out
the
Smash.
reveal trailer for the Wii Fit trainer was just hilarious. They showed like Link and Mario and Kirby, I think, playing Wii Fit, and they're doing yoga poses, and then she comes out and just busts the crap out of them. It's funny.
Yeah, she's like doing yoga stuff everywhere, and I'm like, I want to play her. And everyone's like, why is that person even in the game? I was like, because Nintendo. That's why.
For the same reasons they put Game & Watch and and Rob, the crazy robot thing from Brawl.
I liked Rob.
She looks like she plays like Zero Suit Samus to me a little bit.
Yeah. So that was wrapping up the Nintendo. They have a lot of cool videos on their YouTube. Check them out of like developer directs and stuff like that. But they seem to really sell their console later on in the year and also into 2014, which is a big disappointment for me. But they did elaborate. There's a lot of cool games coming out to 3DS and also Wii U. It's just we have to wait a little bit. So overall, I wasn't as excited for the Nintendo E3.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of new stuff. Everything that was on there pretty much, except for maybe one or two things, everybody already knew about, and we just wanted to see something on it.
So it's not really an A or yay whether I would get their system because I already own it. Yeah. But the Smash Brothers and Mario Kart and Donkey Kong and Art Academy and possibly Sonic Lost World, I will pick all those games up because they look awesome. They look really awesome. They give me what Nintendo always gives me. That's pretty much what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's not going to outdo what Sony's doing with the PS4 or Xbox One. You know, Smash Brothers will. I read so many people after Nintendo Direct saying they're going to the store to buy a Wii U right now, and I was like, that's ridiculous that they actually sold them on it instantly, and that game's not coming out till next year.
Yeah, you would think that all the Smash fans would have bought it, right away anyway, because there's going to be another Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
That's why I bought it.
Right.
I was just kind of disappointed that they didn't have anything with Metroid like this time. I know Retro's doing, or they did.
Retro's only working on Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
I think Metroid will be next. They're very hush hush, and I was hoping for something for Star Fox because it's their 20th anniversary this year.
That would have been awesome.
I hope at least for this year, for the 20th anniversary, they actually release the original Star Fox on Super Nintendo for Virtual Console. That would be cool. I remember playing that back.
Star Fox 64 again.
I love that game. I have that on 3DS though.
Yeah.
So, but that kind of wraps it up. Ryan, do you want to add anything? I know you weren't a big fan of what Nintendo does, but do you want to add anything like that you might be possibly excited for to play at a friend's house at least?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm always a big fan of like the Mario Kart games. Star Fox, I've always loved too. You guys were just talking about that, so that kind of stuff. It's just I'm kind of over the Mario and Zelda type stuff.
Would you buy or would you play Smash Brothers at like everybody's like a gaming party or something like that? I mean,
I've actually never really liked that franchise, so
oh, okay.
you guys are all gonna beat me up, I think.
No, to each their own. I mean, like either like some of Nintendo's stuff or you don't. I mean, there's a lot of people that just don't like what Nintendo's doing. Some people keep on going with it. I keep on going with it because it was the core system back in the day, and I kept on mercifully destroying myself, saying, "Oh, I'm going to buy this system. I'm going to buy this." The Wii U or the Wii burned me out. The Wii U is kind of burned me out at the beginning, but it's still a good system. Yeah. So I thought it was a lot better than the Wii.
Well, the Wii U is the first one that I haven't bought. Like I've always bought Nintendo systems, pretty much day one. Also,
I skipped the GameCube. I bought the Wii, and I was very disappointed in it. Actually, I think a lot of people were, besides the Smash game that came out for it.
All the good games really started coming out near the end of its cycle.
When we didn't care?
Yeah, pretty much. Right around the time the Wii U was getting ready to come out is when all the good games started coming out.
Nintendo's smart for bringing out games this year and also next year for majority of their first-party games. I hope to see more from them in the future, and hopefully they didn't reveal some stuff at E3, and they're waiting for a couple weeks from now to say, hey, we're doing this too. Hopefully we get some more info on that, maybe. But overall, it was a good conference, not as good as Sony's. I thought Sony and EA actually held the strongest conferences at E3. That's just my own opinion. Xbox was still good. It's just I thought EA actually went a little bit more into what they did with Battlefield, and that kind of sold me on that game when I told everybody. I was like, I'm not buying that game again.
EA was decent, but most of it was stuff that we already knew about. There was probably 2 or 3 games that were, brand new, nobody knew about yet. Titanfall, I think people had heard about, but hadn't really seen anything on it yet.
I'm glad to see more from that. That looks like a really good game.
Yeah, so. I'm really, really just on PC because I don't plan on buying an Xbox anytime soon. But definitely, I think Sony, by a long shot, won E3 this year.
Which is bad because no one, I read something on an article, no one really should be winning E3. It all should be awesome, but it was kind of bad that Sony really kicked everybody's ass.
Yeah, and Microsoft, man, something is not right with them. They're just shooting themselves in the foot with all the bad stuff that they're doing right now.
I just hope they get, they learn from their mistakes and they keep on going because the system is a good system. It's just they really need to make sure that the fans are happy.
Like specs wise, it's a great system. It's powerful, and all the new Kinect looks miles better than what they first did on the 360. It's just all the DRM and the online check-ins every 24 hours. It's just a bad time.
The internet has spoken with the consoles, though. I mean, I saw a poll saying, and there was a lot of people voting on it, thousands of people voting. I think IGN did it, and there's a lot of people going to their site. And I know a lot of people don't like IGN, but they actually did a poll. Would you rather get a PS4 or an Xbox? And it was 11% on Xbox One, and I think 89% on PS4.
Yeah, and with the Xbox, it's just that whole online stuff. What they're doing, it's a really bad move. Just think of like back in the 80s, if you bought your NES, if they gave you like a phone number that you had to call every 24 hours and they would give you a code to be able to play your games. Nobody would have put up with that crap. And, Sega would have been the one dominating the market. They'd be, making billions with their Dreamcast 3 by now. And Mario would be the one whoring himself out on Xbox and PlayStation games.
I miss Sega consoles.
Al Gore would have been president instead of Gore, and like, what else? It would have been a crazy, bizarre
apocalypse.
We'd be on like our 15th season of Firefly by now. It'd just be some kind of crazy, bizarre world. And
my God, I want that world.
Right?
What is going on? No. You mentioned Firefly, and I'm all of a sudden sold on Nintendo, whoring themselves out to a phone company. Ryan, do you have anything else to add before we go?
No, I mean, I'm pretty much with you guys. Like, I think Sony definitely had the best conference. And I think it'll be maybe interesting even to see how things shake out with the Xbox if they, backpedal on some of this, or if it really even has much of an effect on it.
All right. Well, we'll see. And when the systems both come out around the same time, we'll see what the numbers are, how much money the companies have made. And by then, I hope we can do a show because Chris is going to be busy, being a dad.
Yeah. Congrats with that, by the way, man.
Whenever that happens, maybe we can do a Christmas special of all the numbers crunched together, what everyone thinks of the systems, who has what, that kind of stuff. I know Ryan and I will both have a PS4, and you may have an Xbox One, depending on whether you have anybody that wants you to pick it up or something. So I may not get it, though. I might wait, unless they really, in the next few months, sell me on something.
Or drop the price.
Drop the price, but my wife is not going to let me buy anything else. So
yeah. I'm going to be mostly just relying on you guys, for all these new systems, because I'm going to be getting deployed here pretty soon, and I won't get back until I think it was like July or something like that next year.
Well, I'll have to fill you in. Maybe we can have you on some really late night podcast whenever you're deployed over there.
Which for me, like late night would be probably in the morning, like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It'll be cool, sand and stuff.
Well, anyway, that's the end of our show. You can follow me on Twitter at mbufftes.
And as always, I'm at cstewtes.
Anybody else want to throw out any social networks?
LMNOP.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
LMNOP.
Okay. Get out of here.
Sorry.
Ryan, what's your Twitter handle?
It's at Runo. It's RHUNO.
Sweet. All right. Well, you can also follow us on or like us on Facebook, subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, whatever. Also, we have a Steam group for gaming on PC, even though we talked about just consoles this month. It's cool, though.
Use the master
Oh,
race.
man, that's another thing. I'm surprised that Valve didn't do anything. I thought they were supposed to do something this year.
No Steam box?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, well. We can do that on our next podcast. We can rant about that. Anyway, everyone that was listening, thank you, and thank you for our guests for actually being on the show. So thank you guys
Thanks for having us.